Well, hello, my dear friends. Justyn Smith here, and I want to welcome you to Psalm 2. Thank you for making it a point to meet up with us once again as we're moving our way psalm by psalm through the book of Psalms together. Some people like to call them chapters, and in our chapter division, verse division mind, that's how we think of them, and it'd be okay to call it that, okay? But these are psalms. These are individual songs that were not broken up like scriptures, chapters, and verses divisions. And so as we look at Psalms, we recognize these individual creations where somebody was going through a scenario in this life, and as God worked on their heart, they would begin to pin down these words as they were going through situations, which brings us to the title of this particular psalm, When All Is Against Us. When all is against us. Have you ever been there before in this life where it seemed like everything was against you? Okay, now it really wasn't everything against you, but it sure felt like it. How did you respond? How could you have responded better? How can we, looking forward to the possibility of having everything against us, how can we learn to respond in those moments of life? We're going to talk about it right here in Psalm 2 today. Well, my name is Justyn Smith with A Heart for Revival Ministries. AHeartForRevival.com is our website. Again, that's AHeartForRevival.com. And we would love it if you'd visit our website. That would mean a lot to us. We would certainly appreciate it. Again, thank you to all our prayer warriors, and thank you to everyone who supports us. If you'd like to take some time to like and share this video when it's all done, we would certainly appreciate that as well. Psalm 2, title is When All Is Against Us. When all is against us. Number one, when all is against us, rest in God making a way. Rest in God making a way, because everything's against us and we can't do it alone. But God is not below the storm. God is above the storm, and we need to rest in God making a way. Notice what it says in verse 6, 7, and 8. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. And so as you consider everything being against you, there is this understanding, of course, prophetic as well, of Jesus Christ and ruling with a rod of iron and being able to be established in the greatest place of authority that has ever been given or ever will be. There is a resting in God's way that is going to be made, and therefore we take the illustration and encouragement today, just like in the Psalms day, that they could rest in God making a way. They could look forward to it. And we look backward to the way that God has made on the cross through the resurrection from the grave, the overcoming power over sin from the gospel. What a tremendous thought it is that we are redeemed, and let the redeemed of the Lord say so. But we still look forward to that day where Jesus, He is the great Prince of Peace, and He's going to rule with a rod of iron, and the government shall be upon His shoulders, as it says in Isaiah 9 and verse number 6. Rest in God making a way. When all is against us, we can do what they've always done who are spiritual, and that is rest in God making a way. And then, number 2, be wise. Okay, be wise. In this moment when everything seems to be against us, we need to exercise wisdom. We need to move forward wisely. Verse 10, Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. And notice those two words referring to two different types of people, kings and judges. Kings over the realms, judges over those of the earth. These are people who are in the place of authority that ought to know better. They ought to be wise, but yet there are situations where kings and judges go through where they're like, we've never dealt with this before. We've never been through these types of times before. We need instruction. We need wisdom. So the judges and the kings are looking after instruction and wisdom. They are trying to know which way to go. When everything is against you, when everything is against us, We need to rest in God making a way, and we need to be wise. We need to seek after instruction. We need to seek after wisdom and find it. But there's a third thing. When everything is against us, what do? Serve the Lord. And this is great, right? I mean, I love serving. I love being a part of things. I remember when I was in evangelism the first time, and there would be stretches where we were off the road and living where we actually live presently. This second time, as we're traveling in evangelism in the missions house at Princeville Baptist Church, there's a lot of property to mow. And we would find ourselves in that first stretch of evangelism going and getting the mower out and starting to mow the property at Princeville Baptist Church. And the old devil would begin to knock at the door. The flesh would begin to rise up, all those things at different times. And you begin to have these thoughts going through your mind like, shouldn't you be doing something else right now? Like, preaching a revival somewhere or something. But I'd have to remind myself, nope, this is where I am right now, and this is what I need to be doing right now. As a servant of the Lord, I have the opportunity to be able to mow the church yard, and I'm doing what God wants me to do. This is exciting. So you look at all seasons and all situations and recognize here is an opportunity for me to serve the Lord. And so I want to do it to the best of my ability for the glory of God. And therefore, I recognize when all is against me, when all is against us, I rest in God making a way. I need wisdom. I need to be wise. And then number 3, I need to serve the Lord again. So I need to get up and stop living in my pity party and stop thinking, oh, why is everybody against me? And start serving the Lord. Then I'd like you to see the verse that deals with it, Psalm 2, verse 11, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. And of course, there's more to it than just serving the Lord there. There is that fear, that proper respect of God, loving what God loves and hating what God hates, and rejoicing. Okay, these are things that I continue to do even when all is against me. And then number 4, kiss the Son. So we rest in God making a way, and then we learn to be wise, and then we serve the Lord, and then we kiss the Son. Now notice what the verse says in verse 12, kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. I consider the closeness of a kiss. I consider the emotions behind a kiss, whether that's a kiss of betrayal or a kiss of love. I consider the opportunity that you have to be close to be able to understand and embrace. And if you notice what it says at the end of verse 12, blessed, or oh how happy, like we saw in Psalm 1, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. You got to get close to God. To kiss the Son, you got to get close to him. And what we need as practical application in the midst of everything being against us, we need to be close. We need to make sure our relationship is where it needs to be with God. I mean, have you ever noticed your relationship with God kind of doing one of these? Not the wave. It's a roller coaster. Kind of like the motion of a wave, but I'm talking about the ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows of the Christian life, the ins and the outs, and you find yourself discouraged, encouraged, you find yourself depressed, or in the place of being, oh, how happy. You find yourself sometimes where you know you need to be, and other times where you know you shouldn't be, but when you find yourself where you shouldn't be, you need to get to where you ought to be. You need to get close to the Son. You need to get back to where you need to, even in the midst of the presence of your enemies, because he's never left you. Why are you leaving him? Number 5, rest in God taking care of the wicked. Okay, this topic, this sermon title, if you will, is the title, When All Is Against Us. And when all is against us, we need to learn to rest in God taking care of the wicked. He's got this under his control. And as he has this under his control, here's what we are mindful of. In verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex or torment them in his sore displeasure. And so when you read those 2 verses, you begin to recognize God is in control. Okay, there's no enemy that he's going to get scared or grieved over as far as wondering if he's going to be taken out. Okay, he's always going to be over the enemies. He's always going to win. Our God always wins, so he always reigns. And then notice verse 12 again, kiss the Son, lest he be angry. So get close to him. Okay, when you move far away from him, there's an anger there, a righteous indignation, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little, we don't want to see it even a little. We don't want to see it a lot. Must remember, blessed are all they that put their trust in him. This is the blessed life. And we get the privilege of living in the blessed life right now when we choose to follow the Lord. So make that choice today, the oh, how happy choice. Even in the midst of all being against us, we can follow the Lord today and find him to be altogether lovely. He is amazing. Let's turn to him. Let's rest in him. Thank you for listening to today's broadcast. I pray that it has been a help, and we'll look forward to joining you again another day. God bless you.